They say familiarity breeds contempt. Welcome to a new rivalry, friends reunited Barclays WSL style. Is this one about to bubble over? I'd love it if that happens.
Curtis cross and in! Liverpool leads and Arsenal suffer defeat.
Well, they weren't behind long. Williams, and she's won it for Manchester United.
It's on to the next one for Mark Skinner's side after an impressive debut for JC on opening weekend. Tonight, she's looking to run this town with her home debut. United unchanged from that late win over Villa. For Jonas Eidevall, a new contract signed. He makes 6 changes from Arsenal's defeat to Liverpool. Alessia Russo starts against her old side in a bid for a change in fortunes. Manchester United pipped Arsenal to second spot last season. The Gunners, with the United's old striker in tow, looking to head back with a bragging rights. Kick-off at 7:30. Evening all, welcome to Manchester, where we've got no problem having the best in the game with us tonight. Villa boss Carla Ward and Rachel Yankee, who's won everything domestically, even the best suites upstairs. Rachel, let's start with you. We're all ready to prep this one as Alessia Russo back in town. That defeat for Jonas, his team last weekend, does that change tonight?
Yeah, I think everyone wanted the party, Alessia coming back here, but yeah, I think it definitely puts the pressure on Jonas. I think it puts pressure on the team that they need, they need to perform here.
Is this coming out fighting by making 6 changes?
100%. I think he wants a reaction. I think he'll feel this is, his best 11 that he can go out and get something from. But it's a huge task because Manchester United are top side, as I found out last week. But it's certainly set up to be an interesting one tonight.
All right, we're going to hear from Jonas in a bit. But first off, let's hear from Mark Skinner. He's with Pat Davison and Izzy Christensen.
Well, Mark, these are the ones, aren't they? First home game of the season, under the lights, on TV. It's Arsenal. What an occasion for you and your team.
For sure, and this is something that you want to play football for. There's going to be thousands and thousands of young people that want to come and emulate what we do out here, and tonight we're going to put on a performance so that they want to keep watching.
Mark, as a manager, I've always wondered about these moments when the players are warming up. What are you doing? What are you looking at? What are you looking for?
Yeah, we try and finalise the shape, see what systems they could go into, but really staying relaxed, staying focused, staying solution focused. I think that's key. So if they change, Arsenal have changed shape in every game, so you've got to be prepared to do that. You've got to have adaptations to your shape, but also then be ready to inject the game as you need to see whatever the result is going to be. So I stay focused and ready for that game plan.
Speaking of shape, your front three, Gacy, Garcia and Galton, the 3 Gs.
3 Gs.
Combined pretty well last week. How excited are you about watching them again tonight?
Honestly, so excited because they've not really played together yet. And that was the first, we unleashed them together as a 3. And their ability to just find spaces to take the opponent. I wanted big players here that can take games when it's tight. And now I've got those players that can go into that game and take it. And look, we'll see that tonight. But all I'm going to be is going to be so excited to see their growth throughout the season. It takes time, as you know. Top players still need time. Yep. But I'm really excited that in the moment they can make a little bit of magic.
Mark, while we're on the subject of forwards, Alessia, oh my goodness.
Wow.
Really well done. See, you've got a 6th sense, you knew that.
She's supposed to be guarding me, heading balls away from me.
Right.
Alessia Russo coming back. The fact that you know her so well, does it help you prepare for her? And does it add a little bit of extra spice?
I'd imagine so. Look, from my perspective, Alessia is not our player anymore, and she's a wonderfully talented girl, and she's a good person. So, but from our perspective, we've now invested in a forward line that can be dynamic when we need it to be. We know about her strengths, and if you do allow her to play her strengths, she can punish you. So we know that. But from our perspective, our front line can do that to any opponent that we play against this season. And I'd rather focus on that than wonder about a player that is no longer under our control.
What do you make of their team in general? 6 changes. Surprised?
Yeah, maybe so, but I think Jonas will want a reaction from the games that have happened. So You know, I see why he might have done that, but you might then have that little lack of cohesion as well. So hopefully we can play on that.
Does it affect your prep? I mean, you've maybe prepared for a different Arsenal to the one you're going to face?
Maybe personnel-wise, I still think they've played this system and this shape. It's a slight adaptation, but we will be prepared for that. But they're good enough to exploit that as well. And it's going to be a game of momentum, and we've got to manage that momentum. They're going to have attacks, we're going to have attacks. And it's in those moments where the game will be decided.
Thanks very much, Mike. You've got to go. Izzy's got to get back to the desk. Caroline, back to you.
We'll see Izzy in about 10 hours then. Carla, you played this Manchester United side. We're focusing on JC. Are we right to do that? Is she that good?
Yeah, listen, she's got pace, she's got power, but she wants space in behind. I think what we tried to do is nullify that space in behind, and I thought our back four dealt with her tremendously well, as you'll see here. I think, you know, we knew that she's got a threat, but obviously with Arsenal tonight playing a back three, it'll be really interesting to see how they nullify that. But certainly I must admit, I was pleased with the way we dealt with her.
Garcia in that combination, we know that Garcia was used a lot last season. Statistically, her best match. She a real threat for them?
Yeah, she was outstanding. She was somebody that we had to speak about quite a lot throughout the game, how we pick her up, and I know obviously it does not surprise me one bit that was her best performance in a United shirt, because obviously she caused us a lot of problems and got the equaliser as well, which put us on the back foot. But she's some player for United, and I think she'll cause Arsenal problems tonight.
I'm just going to talk to you. Rachel's doing the touch off and around the back. We're going to talk
back.
more about, yeah, well done you. We'll talk more about Garcia and the threats perhaps to come for her. She seemed like she had something to prove last week.
Garcia? Yeah, I think so. Well, also, you know, she hasn't started too many games, and now she's getting opportunity. She can get herself into the game, and yeah, she's back into the Spanish national team. So yeah, maybe there's something to prove.
What I'm loving tonight is not just clearly you two being here, but the rivalry between the two fans over which players they've got, which players they haven't got anymore. We're going to delve deeper into that with the Arsenal boss in just a bit. Jonas Eidevall signed a new contract this week, needs those 3 points to put the seal on it tonight. Arsenal fans have made the journey to Manchester, and some familiar faces in tow, knowing their side have only won once in their last 7 trips to this city. Ready, both sides, to roll them on again. Jonas Eidevall signed a new long-term contract this week. He's been chatting to Pat Davison ahead of this one.
Well, Jonas, 6 changes. Why have you decided on what looks from the outside like a pretty dramatic course of action?
I mean, we have a great squad situation with really tough competition amongst the spots, and this 11 here is my best 11 for the game tonight.
So is it a reaction at all to what you called a pretty poor performance last weekend?
I think a team selections is always the past, the present and the future, where the most important thing is the future, because that's the game that we're going to play. But of course you use the information that you have from the past games, you see the present, which is the trainings, and that informs your selection.
Okay, and just to ask you about one change more specifically, in goal, D'Angelo for Zinsberger. It always feels like a more permanent thing when you change a goalkeeper. Big decision for you?
No, I really want to come away from that decision making and saying that we only have one goalkeeper. So for me, we can change goalkeepers also sometimes in games. I don't see why that can't be
similar to what Arteta's actually said with the men's side.
Okay, maybe he said that because for me it's about what's best for the team. Okay, and the goalkeeper is no different onto that. So no team selection is permanent.
Okay, and what needs to be better than it was last weekend?
Oh, a lot of things. A lot of things. I think our quality on the ball has to be a lot better. I think our energy on the pitch has to be a lot better, but also some tactical things in order on how we position, and our decision making also has to be better.
When you've had a bad day, is this a sort of big game, the sort of big test that actually you want for your side?
I mean, it's always very interesting to see how you react on the back after a poor performance, and that's what we need to show today. Like I said before this week, words only takes you so far. It's actions that really matters, and we can speak all we want in front of a game, but at the end of the day what's going to count is what we're going to do on the pitch today when we're playing. So yeah, I have big expectations on us tonight, and I hope we can have a really good performance.
Good luck.
Thank you.
No team selection is permanent, Carla. Are you surprised, though, at 6 changes for tonight?
Yeah, and if I'm Mark Skinner, I'm probably delighted that Katie McCabe's on the bench. I think she's a top player, big occasion type player. But yeah, he's right. No team selection is permanent. You have to chop and change as you see fit. And like I said earlier, he'll think that he can get a reaction out of this 11.
A reaction that he needs. The goalkeeper situation, though, there's loads of talk about whether Mary Earps was going to Arsenal. Didn't happen, of course. Is that a big surprise?
It's interesting because D'Angelo came in January last year and she started 50% of their league games until the end of the season. So he does rotate. I don't think it's anything abnormal by rotating the goalkeeper, but I think being amongst 6 or 5 other changes, it's interesting from Arsenal this evening.
We talked at the start of the show, he needed to make a reaction after that defeat last week.
He made a reaction.
Well, he has. But if you're one of those players that's been left out, one of those coming in, how do you adapt to that reaction? What is your reaction?
Well, this is the problem. I mean, not even a problem. This is the thing, is that you need to make sure that your team is still together. Whatever happens, you can't lose people on this journey. Otherwise, it's going to be a long season. So, yeah, I think it's important. I agree with you on Katie McCabe, especially when you come here and, you look at Arsenal Man United now, it's like a rivalry. You want someone like Katie McCabe and what she does in there, in my opinion. But it's now for the players now to go and show that reaction and show what they've got.
I read a lot of social media, no, don't do it, but they were talking, some of the Arsenal fans, about we need Ilstad in to get on the end of some of these crosses. Well, he's done that, that's the reaction. So many crosses last week and nothing from them.
Yeah, I'll be worried if Ilstad is getting up from centre-back on the end of a cross in the build-up play, but definitely offset pieces. Obviously, we saw it at the World Cup for Sweden. She was prolific. So that is definitely a weapon for Arsenal. I think when you've brought in Ilstad and Cardina, right, alongside Jen Beattie, I think that's a big task for Jen Beattie to marshal those 2 players into the start of the WSL, which it's a big introduction for them.
I'm going to end it there because we've got a sprinkler about to go over the top of us. Well, that does that. Maybe last season Arsenal needed some cooling down when it came to Manchester United.
Another mouth-watering showpiece occasion for the Women's Super League. Zellam's corner. Oh, they've done it! Would you believe it? What a victory! They've toppled Arsenal at the Emirates.
It is the best title race that the WSL has ever known. So little to choose between these 2. Paris cuts it back for Russo! The points are Manchester United's. It is a ground-out victory, but it's oh so precious.
Well, last season, Manchester United seemed to crack the code when it came to beating the top 4, taking 6 points off tonight's visitors, Arsenal. Villa boss Carla Ward's here. Is that the aim for Villa this season? Are you looking at what Manchester United did last season?
Everyone wants that, don't they? Everyone wants me to say top 4. No, listen, we have to close the gap. We talked about it earlier. Infrastructure's massive. Manchester United had that when they came in the Championship, so it's something we have to continue to improve.
What are you doing day to day, Carlo, with your team in terms of you're obviously trying to get results on a weekend, but also are there small measures in place to make sure that you are pushing the gap day in, day out?
Yeah, listen, we always reflect and see what the top 4 are doing, not just the top 4, but what Champions League teams are doing. And when you try and make performance-related performance-related bits and pieces off that, and they're the metrics that you go after.
Talking metrics, you had a good crowd at Villa Park, but seeing this sold out tonight, Arsenal did last weekend when there was a fair few in. Rachel, who are you looking to from your old side to really galvanise this team tonight?
I think it's got to be honest, it's got to come from every player. And that when your manager goes and makes 6 changes and actually comes out and says it wasn't good enough, we were poor, these are his words that he's using, we need more energy, then it's not just one person, it's got to be everyone, isn't it?
No, it is a lot of changes, but also the spine of the team. Leah Walty, Kim Little, Jen Beattie, the 3 of those players, they know this club Arsenal inside out. They know that they'll be the ones that players turn to during the game, for a bit of leadership, to stable the ship, and ultimately massive pressure on them tonight.
But also
I mean, we know they've got leaders. You've got Kim Little in there.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it's got to be the people that are on the bench that may be disappointed that they're not playing. Well, when you get your opportunity, you've got to take it, because what he's saying now is that nobody's 100% going to play. So you go out there, you perform, and you're possibly in for next week.
How much does it sound the alarm that when we heard from Mark Skinner earlier, Carla, he was saying there's still more in my team to gel, the growth in this team?
Yeah, listen, we've not seen the likes of Mallard and Guerrero yet, and they're two top world-class players. So I have no doubt. I said it last week. They were a good side against ourselves, but there's definitely more to come. You want to see them when they start getting ticking, and I think they'll be a real handful for anyone in the league.
This previously, when we talked about Manchester United, about having a spine, a backbone, that changed last season. But where do you see potential errors coming for this United side?
The front three, like I mentioned earlier when we spoke to Mark, the 3 Gs, the Gacy, Garcia, Galton, they're fantastic. I like the balance. They'll be exciting to watch.
It's been 52 shots since the Gunners last scored in the WSL, hoping for more than a 0-0 tonight. P. Mullenstein and Emma Byrne are talking you through this one.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Good evening, everyone. Well, what a game we have on our hands. The lights of Leigh Sports Village shine bright to welcome out two teams who are ready to make a statement. Well, after their second-place finish last season, Manchester United will dare to dream. But tonight, all eyes will be on the return of Alessia Russo, who starts against her former club after signing for Arsenal in the summer. Well, the team news for Manchester United is that Mark Skinner has named an unchanged side from their opening day victory over Aston Villa. Mary Earps has played every minute of Manchester United's Women's Super League games. She's supported by a defence that includes one new summer signing in Gabby George, who continues at left-back. In midfield, captain Katie Zellum is alongside Hayley Ladd, who celebrates her 30th birthday today. Well, it's Lucia Garcia who keeps her place in the 11 after she scored a crucial equaliser to inspire their comeback against Aston Villa. Well, it's the Brazilian Jay-Z who starts as a striker after impressing on matchday 1 to make her home debut. Melvin Mallard makes the bench at Manchester United after missing their opening game last weekend. As for Arsenal, Jonas Eidevall makes 6 changes to his side that lost against Liverpool at the Emirates last weekend. Well, Manuela Zinsberger drops to the bench, which means it's the first start of the season for Sabrina D'Angelo. Laia Cadena makes her Arsenal debut in defence after signing from Barcelona in the summer. She's alongside Amanda Ilestedt, who makes her first WSL start. Well, Kim Little and Leah Velti continue in midfield, but are joined by Noelle Moritz and Victoria Pelova. While Sina Blackstenius joins the former Manchester United striker Alessia Russo, who starts against her former club. Frida Leonardson-Marnham, Katie McCabe and Caitlin Ford are among the 6 who drop to the bench. Well, there is the Manchester United manager Mark Skinner, who's unbeaten in his last 4 games against Arsenal, winning 3 of those. And Jonas Eidevall, who recently signed a new long-term contract with the club. Well, Emma, you want to focus on 2 strikers for both teams.
Yes, I do. So we have JC here, Brazilian, absolutely fantastic game last weekend. Very prolific up there. Scored just 6 goals for Barca last season, so not a prolific goal scorer, but she certainly is a handful. And then, of course, this player here, Alessia Russo, really good player for United, scored the 2 goals against Arsenal last season, so Arsenal will be glad not to have to play against her. Also having her in the side, she did really well, playing a little bit more central for Arsenal than she did for United. Needs to get more touches in the box.
Well, ahead of kick-off, the players take the knee as a reminder that there is no room for racism or discrimination. As we welcome viewers from Main Event. What a game we have on the cards tonight. Both teams ready to make a statement to the rest of the WSL. Arsenal suffering a dip in form early on, but have the chance to make amends Remember, Manchester United have a habit of making this place a fortress.
Yeah, they do. They make it very difficult for oppositions, and as you mentioned before, United definitely have the upper hand in terms of games played. Beaten Arsenal 3 games, drawn in the 4th. So Arsenal are under pressure here. They need to get a result here. It's a decent enough start from Arsenal. You can see what they're planning. Ilestedt gets on the ball. She's looking for Stina Blackstenius, her Swedish team colleague, trying to get her to play into those areas in behind the United back line.
Letitia.
It's interesting that Arsenal are putting pressure higher up. They're trying to stop United from playing out, something that they didn't do very well last week, and something that they haven't done well here. Gabby George being allowed to play that ball down the line into Leah Galton. It's exactly what Arsenal are trying to stop.
Well, a new signing for Manchester United, Gabby George. She started the game on the opening weekend against Aston Villa, an unchanged side named by Mark Skinner. Actually started her career at Manchester United in the youth teams. Gabby George. I suppose one of the big talking points at the start of this game already early on was the 6 changes that Jonas Edeval had made to his Arsenal team. It was one of the discussions ahead of kick-off as well, Emma, that we had about what formation might he be playing, where some of the players might be playing, and how they are going to try and hurt Manchester United with this team.
Yeah, I mean, if I were the opposition manager, I'd be absolutely buzzing that the team has made 6 changes. Obviously not happy with the team last week. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, particularly for me being a former goalkeeper. If you drop me for a game that we've lost, it's going to take a lot of building me back up to get me back in there and being confident. So it's a big knock for Zinsberger. And then, of course, you have the rest of the team sitting on the bench. He'll be chomping at the bit to get on here and make a difference. But he's sticking with the 3 at the back, which is quite interesting for me.
Well, Catley will take this corner kick for Arsenal. An early opportunity to try and take advantage here at Leigh Sports Village. Catley couldn't quite reach the ball, and it's found its way back through. Opportunity as the header comes in, and it rolled into the hands of Mary Earps, but already Arsenal showing the threats they have, and it was Stina Blackstenius who was waiting for it.
It's a great ball in here from Noelle Maritz, and they have to do better than that. Literally 2 Blackstenius and Ilestedt in there completely unmarked. No communication in there.
Turner to Letitia. There's Hayley Ladd, who's celebrating her 30th birthday today. She'll be hoping for an early birthday present if Manchester United get a victory against one of their toughest opponents in the league. Here's Ella 2. She's looking to play Lucia Garcia, and she's found her 2. Galton wants it. Garcia across, and in the end it was easy enough for D'Angelo to save it.
Too close to the goalkeeper here, but it's a really good ball in from Ella Toon. Codina just manages to get a toe on it, but not enough. Lucia Garcia is going to do that all day. She'll want those balls in there. She'll chase them, but it has to be a better ball in there from Garcia.
Back to Mary Earps, and the players tonight wearing black armbands in respect of Lady Cathy Ferguson, wife of Sir Alex Ferguson, who passed away yesterday.
We can see Stina Blackstenius taking up the more central role, which allows Alessia Rusa to play on that right-hand side. She's dropping right off into the midfield, making it difficult for United to play through their midfield. Might have to go long, as we see here.
Garcia trying to get the better there of Codina.
Not a foul.
me. Laia Codina was in trouble there. You can see Lucia Garcia having a bit of a laugh there with her Spanish teammate, but both of them were tussling in there.
A little over the top looking for Stenius. Catley. And JC very nearly got on the end of it.
That is certainly one thing you can say about this Manchester United side. They work really hard for each other, and that comes right from the top. JC up there, she'll be the point of press. She'll start that press, she'll work right across, and of course when you've got Lucia Garcia and Leah Galton on the left-hand side, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare for Arsenal to try and play out. They certainly won't have as much time as they want on the ball.
It was interesting to hear the thoughts of Jonas Eidevall in his press conference ahead of this game, and he said sometimes it can be detrimental to a team to start on the front foot, where you actually get sort of forced into or drawn into a false sense of security, which is what he says happened to them in that defeat against Liverpool.
Don't know about that. I felt like Arsenal were in control of that game. The point is they didn't get enough numbers in the box. He's dropped a lot of players here, but he dropped wingers, the likes of Katie McCabe, Caitlin Ford. Actually, they got more crosses into the box in that game than they've done in the WSL history. So it's about players in the box, being aggressive in the box and converting those chances, which Arsenal definitely have a problem doing.
Well, Galton tried to turn and get away. Well, that was something that Mark Skinner was talking about, was making Leigh Sports Village a fortress again. A place that they had made such a tough place to come for most teams here in the WSL last season. They had the third best home record in the WSL, behind Chelsea and Manchester City. They're currently on an unbeaten run in the last 8 WSL matches here. Galton was trying to break free. It's JC who collects it for Manchester United and has Gabby George in support. JC back to Zellem. Now Ladd. This is Millie Turner. Zellem looking for options, and in the end it was ambitious and forced its way to Sabrina D'Angelo.
I was just about to say it was good patient play from Manchester United there, just keeping the ball. Just all they need to do is keep it moving, keep passing the ball, try to shift Arsenal out of that shape. I can see that they're looking for that long pass, and it certainly has worked on several occasions, but then there are times to play it short. You can see Ella Toone in that number 10 position. She's getting free in there. They might have to look in between the lines.
Here is Russo. Stenius was making her way into the penalty area, but it was well defended in the end by Turner. Welty. Manchester United doing their best to try and steal the possession away from Arsenal, but they're doing well under pressure at the moment, the visitors.
Good play from Arsenal. Good. They were getting pressed by Ella Toone over the far side. Did well to keep it. It is the switch of play that's on. I'd like to see Steph Catley just stay a little bit wider in these occasions. Certainly space down that wide area in behind Hannah Blundell for United.
Mary Earps was one of the players named in the WSL Team of the Season for last season. She's also been shortlisted for a Ballon d'Or. What a couple of years that she's having, Mary Earps.
Absolutely fantastic goalkeeper. and to keep that consistency up for so many years. Definitely number one as far as I'm concerned, and United will count their blessings they still have her.
Well, Arsenal on the attack now, and options ahead too. There's the opportunity, and not taken. Good block in the end by Turner. Palova was the player who was trying to get free.
It's good defending from United, but Palova has got to release that ball a little bit earlier. She just takes too many touches for me. It's well won back here. She does really well. She drives with the ball. It's what you want. Then it's about driving into the box. Just takes too many touches, gets closed down.
Sent forward, but at the moment it seems like Arsenal a little bit more in control of this game than Manchester United.
Yeah, United are just trying to force it, really. They've been told to get on the ball and try and turn Arsenal, try to get JC in a 1v1 situation, ball over the top, but it is being forced a little bit. Sometimes it needs that extra pass.
Well, the ball back there from Milstead wasn't one that favoured D'Angelo, really.
No, but again, it's just the pressure. The pressure from JC there, just putting on Amanda Milstead. That will give them confidence, that will give them a boost to know that the pressure is counting, that it's forcing them to make those errors.
The two centre-backs coming forward for this one. Manchester United very strong on set pieces last season, topping the charts in that area as the ball goes in, and they're looking for a towering header. Couldn't quite find it. Elatoun keeps it alive. JC looks to weave away inside. JC across and blocked away. Velti to the rescue for Arsenal.
Really well there. Real calm head in the box. Stayed on her feet. I thought she might have gone down there from the tackle from Kim Little, to be quite honest, but did well. Got a throw in.
There's two. Looking for JC, who couldn't keep control of the ball. What will Arsenal have learnt from their defeat against Liverpool last weekend?
They learned that they're going to get dropped if they lose, that's for sure.
Well, pressure being put on here, and Lucia Garcia very nearly took advantage. It's Zelen. Stopped by Velti, and Palova gets it back for Arsenal. Russo. Only forward, this is Blackstenius. Kim Little is making her way through as well. Blackstenius! A perfect finish from Stina Blackstenius to put Arsenal ahead. It's the reaction they needed from their opening day defeat. And Stina Blackstenius has found a breakthrough.
Absolutely fantastic goal from Blackstenius. Arsenal actually had to recuperate the ball here. It's a good play out from Alessia Russo, and look at that ball from Steph Catley, absolutely perfect. Blundell caught higher up the pitch, and the strength and the power and the directness of Blackstenius. What a finish from her, under pressure from Blundell. Absolutely great finish from her.
Well, a really brilliant goal from Stina Blackstenius. And look at that reaction from the manager, Jonas Edeval. Perhaps the cheer of relief for Arsenal.
Relief for Blackstenius as well. She's been under pressure. They've been talking about getting a goal scorer in, and as a goal scorer, obviously that's not going to do anything for your confidence. But actually, it's in those areas that I really like to see her play. I know she's playing in a number 9 position, but actually I like to see her a little bit wider. She really exploits those channels behind the defence really, really well.
Here is JC. Now it's Manchester United who look for a reaction, and that was ambitious to say the least from the Brazilian forward. Now some rethinking, reworking to do perhaps for Mark Skinner, who finds his side behind in the opening 15 minutes.
Yeah, they really have to be careful down this right-hand side. I said it at the start of the game. Hannah Blundell needs to be careful. They are trying to exploit that area. She does get caught a little bit higher up. You know, it's difficult for her. And missing Ona Battier back there. You don't want to be talking about players that have left, but...
Russo. We're into Catley. This is Laia Codina making her Arsenal debut. Instead. Over again, searching for the options that become available to her.
They're not letting her turn, are they? As soon as Russo gets on the ball, they're on it. And you just look at these action areas in here, 49%. Manchester United back there, and 28 in the middle.
Well, he says he prepares for every game like it's a must-win. I suppose these are those games, though, that every player will look at the fixture schedule right at the start of the season and look at when they're playing their toughest opponents. The fact that they're playing Arsenal in just their second game of the WSL.
Well, that's the beauty of the WSL. Every single game is difficult, especially this season. I think it's going to be the best yet. The standard has risen even more.
Now JC finds Ella Toon. JC again looking for Lucia Garcia.
Just a wrong option there from JC. She can see that Hannah Blundell here is free. Just a ball across the floor. That's what it's needed.
Turner. George. Here's Galton. And across to Hannah Blundell. George picks out Leah Galton. To try and get away from the Arsenal pressure as Manchester United look to try and find an equaliser. JC with a header. In the end it was a tame one and didn't really test Angelo, but a couple of opportunities coming Manchester United's way.
It's good play from United. Right decision, good ball in. JC just couldn't generate the power on that. You can see Lucia Garcia there having a little go at her, I think. Maybe he wanted the knockdown, but it's good. It's much better from United. They're finding the little pockets. They're finding Ella Toon on the ball. She's creating really nice little areas in there to get on the ball. That's exactly who they need to get there.
It's Catley. Kim Little. She's not quite on the same page as the rest of her teammates. Stenius wins the ball back. Palova. Instead. Leah Velti. Now Laia Codina over to Jen Beattie. Well forward, and Callie will try her best to chase it down, but Mary Earp spotted it early.
Again, it's good play from Arsenal. They're really dominating in there in the midfield, which is exactly what they plan to do, just to overload the midfield areas with numbers. Just really good runs.
Leticia couldn't quite get there, and very nearly it was Blackstenius who was able to pounce again, but Mary Earps to the rescue this time.
Just great balls in there, this time from Kim Little. Just a little ball in behind. Really difficult for the United defenders to deal with, running back towards their own goal. Actually, Leticia managed to get a little bit of a touch on that, and they needed it.
Over to Turner. Lundell.
Arsenal's press is really good here. You can see how much they're working to get across the pitch. United find it really difficult to get out. And then they just drop off a little bit, forcing that long ball. Good play from Arsenal.
Well, there's something that the Liverpool manager Matt Beard said about how his game plan was so effective against Arsenal, was the fact that they managed to push Arsenal out wide and that they were able to dominate centrally. And Manchester United have the same game plan. Here comes Kim Little, and she looks straight away over to her right. The flag was up earlier. I think she knew it herself as well.
Surprised that Manchester United are leaving these gaps. I thought they'd play a little bit deeper, as they've done before against Arsenal. They're leaving a lot of space in behind them. Arsenal have the players to get in there to exploit those areas, and very, very close there. Kim Little's offside.
JC. Wins the ball back. And Manchester United were expecting a foul there, but they've won it back. Here is Garcia. Tune across to JC. Bolton is arriving too, and just over by JC.
It's exactly what they wanted, though, United, to get JC out there in a 1v1 situation. Looked a little bit tired. She was on the floor there from a tackle from Kim Little, of all people. I feel like she should have stayed on the ball. You can see that United here have got more possession. Doesn't seem like that, but Arsenal are just more effective with theirs.
Well, Jambiti down at the moment for Arsenal. Just requiring some treatment. Well, an opportunity for both managers to get some more instructions out onto the pitch, but it's been a better start from Arsenal than it has been for Manchester United.
Yeah, they've just got the quality in. I think they're just overrunning it in midfield. Kim Little is pushed up in a unnatural position for her, really. We're expecting her to be more central. She's actually coming right out to the left-hand side. Steph Catley is pushing up as well. Really dangerous when she gets forward. Good to see her playing a little bit higher up. We can just see the goal here again. It's given away, actually, by United. Alessia Russo picks it up in midfield in a really deep area, and a great ball in here from Steph Catley, to where Stina Blackstenius really comes alive, and that such a powerful run, just knocks it real cleverly, just knocks it past Blundell. Blundell can't touch her, and a great finish into the corner. Absolutely nothing Mary Earps could have done.
Well, Stina Blackstenius already scored this season in the Champions League qualifying rounds. Of course, that was one of the big talking points really with Arsenal, was their shock exit out of the Champions League in the qualifying stages. Manchester United, of course, still have Champions League dreams alive. They've actually got their first Champions League game coming up as well against PSG. Both players getting ready to come back onto the pitch as well. Hilly Ladd and Jen Beattie both okay to continue.
Yeah, but Pian, that is the difference at Champions League, whether you come second or third. And the fact is that Arsenal had to play those Champions League games so soon after the World Cup. Very, very little time to organise their team, to play together, to train together, and I think that really showed. And of course, I think they underestimated Paris FC, which is another lesson to be learned.
There's Turner. Blundell. George over, looking for Leo Bolton, who will chase it down. D'Angelo missed it, and here's a chance for Bolton! A gift, and Manchester United take it. Leo Bolton with the equaliser, and we're all level.
Absolute shocker from D'Angelo. It's a ball in from Gabby George, a ball that the keeper should have been a higher starting position and clearing that ball. We've seen something a few minutes earlier. Mary Earps came out and cleared it, took her eye off the ball. And as you said, an absolute gift for United. Completely missed it. She definitely will not want to see that again.
And I think Alatoum was celebrating before it even found the back of the net. You can see the reaction of Sabrina D'Angelo, who took the place today of Manuela Zinsberger in goal. And that will not be a nice feeling for her. Here's Catley. A game full of twists and turns already. Catley looking to fire it across, well saved by Earps. And Galton away.
Well, Manchester United are going to have to fix this problem here on the right-hand side for them. Hannah Blundell is getting sucked in. Kim Little's movement is really good. She starts on Hannah Blundell, goes into midfield, and Blundell follows her in, leaving that area completely wide open for Catley to run into.
Emma, as a goalkeeper, how do you get over a mistake like that, which has happened relatively early in the game?
It's very, very difficult, especially the situation that Sabrina D'Angelo's in. The fact is, she knows that she's in there. She has to make an impression. Zinsberger has been dropped. This is her chance to claim that spot. There's a lot of pressure on her, and unfortunately that's not going to do her any favours. But what do you do? The manager's dropped Zinsberger, who now his confidence is probably on the floor. So this could be a problem for Arsenal. And if I were Mark Skinner, I would be telling my team to get as many shots on target, to get as much pressure on the goalkeeper as I could.
Well, they certainly weren't lacking the shots or the opportunities in their opening game, Manchester United. And they were able to come away with the 3 points just about. Maya Codina. Little back to Codina. LT and put under pressure there by Ladd. And they will get the free kick.
Yeah, it was a free kick. Hayley Ladd, just that last throw of her leg in there, that's exactly it there. She didn't get the ball.
John Beattie making away. Victoria Pelova or Steph Catley. It will be Pelova. A looping ball in. Played away by Turner.
It's not a good ball in. That ball has to go into that space. There's so much space between the players and the goalkeeper there. It needs to go in there for the players to run onto it. Really difficult for the defenders and Mary Earps to come out and claim it.
Cardina. There is Blackstenius, but the flag is up against it.
Well, United do tend to respond well when they go a goal down. You can see here that ever since Arsenal scored, in the last 15 minutes, United have had two shots on target and 2 touches in the opposition's box, which is more than what they've had the whole game. So it's a good way, it's a good reaction from United. Good pressure, which they got the goal from.
Well, it certainly is the action that Mark Skinner would have wanted to see from his side. Perhaps if there was an element of luck that helped the goal along. Here is Blackstenius. Putting Beattie under pressure. And Manchester United were asking for a free kick there, the referee, Kirsty Dowie, waving it away. This is Galton who looks to come forward.
Well, I'd like to see that again, because it looked like Jen Beattie was holding JC back there. So you just don't get that time when you've got a player like Jay-Z back there. It looks like a foul to me, but they've got their free kick.
Free kick into the area, and it's headed upwards, but not quite away. Jay-Z looking to win the ball back off Welty. Do you see the Barcelona style of football in JC?
I don't think the defenders tackle like that, to be honest, at Barca. But, I mean, what she is very, very good at is a defensive role, to be quite honest. And, you know, your defence does start with your striker, and she's a real handful up there, isn't she?
Catley. And back by Ladd. Turner. And Bolton keeps hold of it and looks to break free. George. Across, and instead trying to clear it away for Arsenal.
Bolton did really well to keep hold of the ball there. It was a tough tackle in behind from Illestead, and she just turned her, and that's somewhere maybe that United can exploit as well, the fact that Illestead will travel into midfield to track her player, leaving that little bit of space behind. If United can see that, get Ella Toon on the ball in those areas, find a bit of joy.
Turner picking out a great pass. Back of the JC, but it was spotted by Viovelti. Codina. Was hoping she could play in Blackstenius, but too direct towards Mary Earps.
Good play though from Arsenal. They're looking good, keeping the ball, moving the ball really nicely. You can see what Laia Codina was trying to do there, and it was on. Just too much pace in it for Blackstenius, but again, good play, good forward play from the defenders.
Turner. Onto George. Looking for Galton again, who will be chasing this down. Lillestad to it quickly. To show some tricks to try and get away from Moritz. Manchester United have it back and looking for Lucia Garcia, who was slightly too central to reach that ball.
The only one in the box as well. This is where United need to be careful when they do press high, and I really enjoy watching them press high. I'd love to see it in the WSL, but they do leave a lot of space behind them, and Arsenal have the players that can turn them and transition very, very quickly, so they need to be careful of that.
Kim Little. There is Codina, over to Catley. Looking for Laia Codina again, and Garcia came all the way back to win the ball back.
Well, I think that's what Mark Skinner's chat was probably about over there in the break when Jenny Beattie went down, is telling Lucia Garcia that she needs to get back there. We've gotten in trouble a little bit down that side, and you can just see that Lucia Garcia is playing that little bit deeper and helping her team out.
There's Zelen. And over to JC.
JC can do some really fantastic things on the pitch, but then she can also do things that you just want more from her, and that was a good example. She needs to keep the ball there, she needs to keep possession for her team. You can see how hard they're working to get that ball back, and then just to give it away cheaply is very, well, demotivating, to be quite honest. So she just really needs to focus on keeping the ball when it comes to her.
Gundell over to Ladd. And now Lucia Garcia making her way forward. Garcia couldn't get past the Arsenal defence that was blocking the way through. Here's Zelen.
Again, wrong decision for me from Lucia Garcia. She needs to bring other players in there. She's getting closed down. She tries to take a shot from outside the area. I know I said I'd be telling them to take shots from everywhere, but just have to make the right decisions.
Galton adds it on to JC. Palova wins it back. JC again through, looking for Lucia Garcia, but a little bit too much pace behind the ball, and Garcia couldn't quite get on the end of it.
Great ball, great vision. I was just about to say she needs to move the ball a little bit quicker, but not that quick. Just the weight on the ball, just too much. But good play.
Galton trying across, looking for Garcia again, and this time it's claimed into the hands by D'Angelo.
a good take from D'Angelo. Needed to be, and you'd expect her to take that, wouldn't you? Arsenal need to do better in keeping possession as well. They just dropped off the last 5-10 minutes, not getting the ball into midfield.
Perhaps the warmest of welcomes for Alessia Russo, but the Arsenal fans certainly cheering her on. And Galton, who was trying to come forward, the flag was up against her. Well, he made some big changes, Jonas Edeval. One of those was the goalkeeper tonight. And this was the mistake from Sabrina D'Angelo that gifted Leah Galton the opportunity to get the equaliser for Manchester United.
Yeah, it was a huge mistake from D'Angelo. Seems to take her eye off the ball, but you can't afford to do that. She's in a pressure situation as well.
Here comes Stina Blackstenius, waiting for support to arrive. Kim Little was one of those, and defended well by Manchester United, only as far as Catley. Here is Blackstenius again. Russo across to Catley.
It's not the first time we've seen a poor clearance from Mary Earps either. She won't be too happy with herself. Expect a little bit more from her as well. She needs to clear those lines, and she's giving it back to the Arsenal players, and just another wave of attack from Arsenal.
LT. And find the through ball to Catley. Manchester United isn't having any of it. This is Blundell. JC. Finds Elatoon. And Georgia in space down that left-hand side. Galton. Sofia Garcia trying to weave her way into the penalty area. And back by Lau. Now this is Toon. Was trying to find the right pass to pick out Leah Galton.
Well, you can see Blackstenius there holding her hand up, because that ball that she gives away in the midfield there should be punished. It's a really poor ball to give away there, and United should be doing better. See Toon there. I'd like to see Toon actually taking that on her left and taking a shot. She actually had a bit of space to do that.
Well, a chance to remind you of what's coming up. Liverpool against Aston Villa on Sky Sports Football. Coverage getting underway at 6:30 on Sunday. I'm sure Carla Ward would have had a keen eye on that game. Arsenal-Liverpool at the opening weekend as well. It'll be interesting to hear the thoughts actually of Carla at half-time from this game, having suffered defeat in their opening game from Manchester United, Aston Villa.
Oh, she's been standing here beside us, scribbling away, taking notes.
Well, we're into 4 minutes of added time. Here's Kim Little. Well, space opening up for Arsenal, and this is Catley. Russo is looking for a bit of space. Finds Leah Velti. Catley again, trying to find Blackstenius. Chance again, and it's lifted into the stands by Alessia Russo.
It's the first time we've seen her in the area. It must be her first touch in the box. Different type of role with Arsenal tonight. It's a great ball in from Steph Catley. think it's Turner does really well to get her head on it. Good enough clearance, and well, you'd expect her to take a shot from there, but perhaps maybe get it on target. Or am I asking too much there?
It was her first touch in the box for Arsenal in this game.
Yeah, I'd like to know how she feels about playing a little bit wider. So used to seeing her playing up there as that lone player. Something she did extremely good at last season for United, just playing up there. Played a little bit more of a free role, going into left and right spaces as well as central, and she's certainly working hard here for Arsenal.
Here is Turner. JC couldn't get through Jen Beattie.
All the time they look up, they're looking for Kim Little. Jen Beattie did really well there to step in, and then she's looking up and she's looking for Kimmy's run. Just not good enough of a pass.
Here is JC for Manchester United trying to get the cross, but it was a great block again from Jen Beattie, who's had to come to the rescue a few times for Arsenal in this first half.
She's still got it. Didn't play that much last season, but excellent game already for her. I would question Jay-Z's decision making there again. She can keep that ball, wait for numbers to get into the box.
Zelen with the delivery. Well, the header was there from Turner. Well, we've seen her pop up at those occasions so many times before. Very nearly found the target this time.
She's not marked in there. She's a completely free header. And it's Laia Codina in there that's supposed to be picking her up. She needs to stop her making that run in there, because, well, we've heard the stats already about United and the goals they score in set pieces. They're very, very dangerous.
Back to MBT. Well, that will be it for the first half. Well, the twists and the turns of the Women's Super League continue, and what a game we've been treated to already. Stina Blackstenius with a great finish to open the scoring for Arsenal, but then a mistake from the Arsenal keeper Sabrina D'Angelo gifted Leah Galton the opportunity to find the equaliser, and did she find it? Well, plenty of work to do still in the second half, but we go in the break level. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 1.
Even as you like at the break when it comes to the scores. What do the panel think about that performance from the first half? Carla Ward, Izzy Christensen, Rachel Yankee. Izzy, first off, they made the changes, Arsenal, and it paid off with Stina Blackstenius.
It certainly did. It was a terrific goal by Arsenal. Because of their shape, you can see the ball, the way that the ball is moved over to this left-hand side. It's actually Alessia Russo who's dropped deep. She knows where the space is. And this is really simple. The pass from Steph Catley is perfect, the right way, and it's this touch here inside by Blackstenius that eliminates Hannah Blundell. It's the killer touch, because if Blundell makes contact, it's a penalty. But it's just the run. She's peeled off into the space. It's the first, second, and then it's this touch here, and then the finish beyond Mary Earps. Super goal from Arsenal.
Carla, for you, do better there potentially defensively?
Yeah, they can, but look, I think you've got to give Arsenal credit, and I think we saw a lot in that first half. Kim Little's causing riots just from her positioning. She's taken up a really central pocket, which is allowing Steph Catley to play on the outside, and Blundell doesn't know whether to go with her, whether to stay, so she's narrowing up that back four, and Arsenal utilising the space on the outside, and I think Manchester United have got to have a look at that now, and try and get some sort of pressure on Catley, because at the minute she's got the world at her feet out here.
Rachel, the change works up front then for Arsenal. in goal?
Yeah, it wasn't the best performance, to be honest. But I think it all starts. I mean, there was warning signs every time Gabby George has got the ball. She's played this ball. So for me, she's in the wrong position, and then mistakes can happen, and we've seen goalkeepers do this before. It's disappointing because she's got her chance, but fair play to Manchester United, Leah Galton. She turns her back, but then she realises, probably a bit little help from the crowd, that the ball's still on. It's a good finish. But for me, Arsenal's positioning is wrong from the start, and then, like I say, goalkeeper, you just got to make contact with that, and you got to see.
I'm laughing at Ella Toon celebrating before the ball's gone.
Oh, she knew.
She's obviously got a lot of faith.
She's got the trust
in Leah Galton with an empty goal.
Well, it's the wrong player to fall from if you're an Arsenal fan. Talking of the fans, they have been trading chants throughout. We've got this player, we're having this player, and on the pitch, it's the two teams trading blows at the moment. As we await the teams coming out for the second half, Izzy, talk about Kim Little in that first 45.
She's been exceptional. She's been doing this for years in the WSL, but what her position is doing is so clever to disrupting Man United's shape. She's taking Hannah Blundell really central. You can look at here. Hannah Blundell's had to go all the way in with Kim Little, and she knows exactly where the space is for the overlapping Steph Catley, who's also been exceptional. She's caused all sorts of problems. Her football IQ is so high. And she's been, like I said, she's been doing this for years. It's nothing different. It's just a manager's using her in a different role this evening, and she's been brilliant.
That combination, Carla, for this Arsenal side, when we're seeing Blackstenius and Russo combining, seem much more fruitful for Arsenal in that first half?
Yeah, and what they do, it gives you the ability for one of them to drop in, link the play, which Russo does really well, as does Blackstenius, and I think it allows the other one to try and look to go off the back. But just to reiterate what Izzy's just said on Kim, I think everything that's been good about Arsenal in that first 45 minutes has been because of Kim Little.
We heard a lot in commentary, particularly from Emma Byrne, about potentially Blundell, and getting at her could be an area for Arsenal to exploit.
Well, yeah, definitely. There's gaps there because of Kim Little's movement, but I think it's an open game, and I think for Man United they need to start feeding their front three and just working a little bit more together, to be honest.
A positive for D'Angelo, she comes back out onto the pitches. She made a save. She got involved after that little bit of a ricket.
Yeah, listen, I think she took two balls really, really well under pressure, and I think that'll give her a little bit more confidence, but it's a big 45 for her, that's for sure.
Do you think we'll see any changes early in this second half, or both teams balanced?
I'll be surprised if there's any changes within the next 15 minutes. I think both managers will have a look and see how both sides have come out into the second half with the information they've been given, and I think they'll probably start to look to make one or two changes after the 60-minute mark.
Lucia Garcia last week said she was very tired in that second half. None of that in this second 45?
You put it politely. Yeah, no, look, I think she'll be frustrated not to get involved a little bit more, but look, she's someone that can light up a game in an instant, so rest assured she's got 45 minutes to do so. 45 minutes in the company of Emma Byrne and P. Mullenstein.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Yes, the players are back out and they are back ready for the second half, and what treats will we get to see in this second 45? Well, it certainly has been a first half, Emma, that we saw lots of twists and turns in the game. What are you expecting this second half?
Well, I'm definitely expecting a little bit more of the same from Arsenal. I thought they were excellent going forward. I thought they carried out the game plan very well. You can see that they tried to exploit down their left-hand side, and they did it really well with Kim Little, as the girls were saying there. And I think for United, I think they're going to be asked, can you keep the ball when it goes forward? Can you make better decisions, JC and Lucia Garcia? And then it's all about Hannah Blundell and how she's going to cover that space.
Well, here we go again then. The second half underway. Both sides looking for a winner. It was Arsenal who were able to break the deadlock first, all thanks to Stina Blackstenius. It was a great finish too, but the mistake from the Arsenal goalkeeper, Sabrina D'Angelo, gifted Manchester United their equaliser. Now I suppose the question is, which team will be able to build on that momentum built in the first half? Letitia. Zellum forward. They had it covered, but Garcia was coming through, looking to put the pressure on.
Well, D'Angelo did really well there. There was pressure on her. Looked like Lucia Garcia could have went even in a little bit stronger. She did well to play out.
Well, neither manager making any changes at the start of this second half. But I suppose what the outstanding thing is from both of these sides is that Manchester United and Arsenal do have that depth of squad available should they need it.
They do. Just looking on the pitch here, Arsenal have got a really nice press here, but there's so much space for Ella Toone in there. And United just aren't seeing her making those movements in there between the lines, between the defence and the midfield of Arsenal. There's a lot of space in there.
Well, Lucia Garcia got the equaliser, and it was a substitute, Rachel Williams, who was able to score the winner for Manchester United against Aston Villa. We know that Manchester United have a habit of scoring goals late on to try and get those 3 points. It was something that set them apart from the rest of the teams last season. Could she be coming on to play her part in this game tonight?
You speak about handfuls, and Rachel Williams is certainly one of those. I played against her many a times, and it's not somebody I particularly wanted to go up against, put it that way, but what a player to bring off the bench for those set pieces. Probably one of the best players in the air.
Gracie.
I think Jenny Beattie's had an excellent game. It's a great tackle from her in there, and you're playing three at the back. It's difficult to marshal those areas, you know, and they were put under pressure by United, those balls over the top, and they've just dealt with that really well. And Jenny just covers the play really well, as you can see there on the left-hand side, making those tackles.
Toone. Over to Zelen. Toone again. Toone dancing away inside the penalty area, and Jay-Z very nearly got on the end of it. Away by Beattie again.
And that for me is United's answer. They need to get Ella Toone on the ball as much as possible.
George. Here's Turner. Out to Ladd. Palova is the player that's putting the pressure on. Naya Letizia. A lot of space opening up on that right side. Lucia Garcia trying her best to get hold of it. Cordina got there first.
That's a good battle out there, isn't it? Spanish players. The Spanish manager is here in the stadium watching those two in particular, obviously.
Here is Jay-Z for Manchester United, looks to take aim, and it's narrowly wide. Flashed across the face of goal.
Good ball in. Really lovely ball. Cordina just gets caught out of position. Whisker away from that back post. She looks up, she knows exactly where she wants to put it. Very close, isn't it?
Very nearly found the far post, and very nearly Manchester United were taking the lead. Their first real threat in this second half. Jay-Z, who is signed from the summer from Barcelona, certainly has been one of the more creative players for Manchester United in this game.
Yeah, a player that didn't get much game time with Barca, players to compete against there, Asisata Schwala and Claudia Pina. But when she did get her game time, she was very effective, and I think that kind of carried into the World Cup with her as well. Probably starting player on the bench, but when she came on, she was very, very difficult to mark.
Letizia. Blundell forward, but picked up by Cardina. Well, and chased down here by Stenius. Mary Earps watched it to her feet.
You can see Maya Letitia is just playing a little bit more towards that right-hand side there, fully aware that that's where Arsenal want to play. They want to put Blackstenius into those areas, and that's what she is best at doing, running into the channels. They recognise that maybe last week Hannah Blundell and Letitia were playing too far apart, and exposing those spaces in there is what Arsenal wanted to do, but certainly Letitia seems to be playing more towards her right side.
Well, it was a third-place finish for Arsenal last season in the Women's Super League. They were 9 points behind Manchester United in the end. Perhaps a big aim for them, though, this season to try and win the championship back again. But here come Manchester United, who are firing forward. Lucia Garcia couldn't get past Cardina.
Good defending from Cardina there. Garcia has won that battle on a couple of occasions in the first half, but Cardina did well just to push that out.
Well, Steph Catley just getting some treatment. Jay-Z is back on her feet. This is what happened.
Yeah, I think it's just... It's a fairly heavy knock there for Steph Catley. Just coming together. Catley came off the worst.
Well, the good news is that Steph Catley back up on her feet, seems to be okay to continue. Dalton.
It's great work. It's great work from Leah Galton there. Steph Catley did well to nick the ball, and it looked like Arsenal were in a really good position to push forward, but great work from Galton there.
Here is Ella 2. Spotted Leah Galton, who's making a run forward, looked to get away from Maritz. Galton again. Well, there was not enough red shirts in the penalty area she was looking for.
Thought that just run a little bit beyond her. I wasn't expecting her to get on that. You can see D'Angelo thought the same, because she started to approach the ball and was caught in no man's land, really. Galton tried to pull it back.
You might be able to see from the top of your screens as well that Arsenal are getting ready to make a couple of changes. And here comes Kim Little. Stopped by Ladd. Moritz. Midfielder Alessia Russo. Russo looking to fire it across.
I'd like to see a little bit more of that battle, Alessia Russo and Gabby George. Don't think we've seen enough of that, really. See Alessia playing a little bit towards the right, got her on the ball.
Well, here comes Palova for Arsenal. It was very nearly in, but it was guided away there by Maya Letitia.
It's good defending from Letitia. She read the danger. Great strength from Blackstenius. Really nice touch in from Palova, and good read in from Letitia. Good defending.
Well, Catley will take this corner kick for Arsenal as they look to get back ahead in Leigh Sports Village. Instead, and Beattie waiting for it, looking to tower above and headed away. Garcia gets it for Manchester United and clears the danger. Russo. Over the top and into the hands this time of Mary Earps. Lundell. Garcia. Will take this on and try and get away from Codina.
Again, good defending from Codina. Lucia Garcia did well to get the corner, but Montse Tomé will be looking at these two players for her selection, the Spanish national team.
Recently replaced Jorge Vilda. Montse Tomé will have eyes on a couple of those Spanish players. Lucia Garcia. There's the corner. It's in for Manchester United, and it's claimed by D'Angelo.
Well, you asked how do you come back from a big mistake as a goalkeeper, and that's it. Making those claims in the air, that will do her confidence the world of good.
Moritz to Alessia Russo, who turns to look and find some space. Zellem made the foul, and Arsenal have got a free kick in a dangerous position.
Alessia Russo does so well here. She just can turn like that. The United defenders will be well used to that, and you can see Katie Zellem had no qualms there. She knew exactly what she was doing. And this is a very good position for Steph Catley here.
Well, the Manchester United captain being shown a yellow card for that challenge onto Alessia Russo. And here come the changes then for Arsenal. And they are going to be making a triple change. Laia Codina makes her way off. And on comes Katie McCabe. Stina Blackstenius is also a player taken off. Scored the opening goal for Arsenal and is replaced by Caitlin Ford. And it's Victoria Pelova who will make way for Frida Leonardsen-Marnum.
Not a bad bench to bring on, is it? Only strengthen the team. This is a great time to make those changes, just to inject a little bit of energy into their team.
Well, just in time, those changes being made ahead of this free kick. Catley fires it over.
Yeah, so Steph Catley just drops in there beside Jen Beattie. Kate McCabe will drop to the left wing back. Kimmy Little drops back into her preferred position, or normal position as we normally see her in the midfield. And Marnum will play up alongside Russo and Ford.
Here is Russo, who's looking to get away from George. Gillisette. Belty over to Leonardsen-Marnum. Well, the Arsenal fans perhaps hoping that she might get a little bit more involved, Alessia Russo, in the next half an hour or so of this game.
So you can see here how much Alessia Russo has affected the game, but mainly down this right-hand side, where she's a little bit wider. She's only had one touch in the box again, which is something that she's going to want to affect a little bit more. But now she's playing a little bit more central with Marnum on the pitch, who will take up that right position naturally. Maybe we'll see more Russo more centrally.
Well, Katie McCabe's only been on the pitch a matter of minutes, and she's already very much getting involved. And it will be a yellow card as well for Katie McCabe. It's one way to make your presence known, isn't it?
I mean, who would have seen that coming? I think she's more dangerous when she comes off the bench, to be quite honest.
Well, recently signed a new contract at Arsenal. Katie McCabe. She was their player of the season as well last season. One of the 6 players that Jonas Edelval left out of the starting 11 this evening.
We speak about Arsenal having some bench and how they can change a game, and they still have plenty of players on the bench that can affect it, but also Manchester United. And you know, you heard Mark Skinner last season talk about increasing the squad and making strength and depth, and they certainly have that. They have players to bring off the bench that can affect that game. This game also, Miyasawa being one of them.
Well, they certainly have the strength in depth, Manchester United, and they know how to score late goals, especially goals from substitutes as well. They have the most since the start of last season. And another yellow card for the Arsenal side, and this time for Caitlin Ford.
Well, this is one thing that we don't want to see, that Edelval will not want to see. He still wants the discipline. They were so disciplined in the first half. They were working together. This is just breaking it up a little bit. They want to win by keeping possession. And now Edelval himself gets a yellow card. That's the biggest cheer of the game, I think.
Well, Jonas Edelval shown a yellow card for his frustrations. Well, it's certainly got the visiting Arsenal fans off their seats.
Well, the one thing Arsenal need to regain is the press they had in the first half, which was excellent and very, very effective. They've just dropped off that a little bit. It's just allowing United to get out.
Well, now Alessia Russo certainly playing more of that out-and-out striker role, which perhaps the area that she's more comfortable in. Here comes Russo. Arsenal on the attack now. Caitlin Ford. Belty. Arsenal weaving their way inside. This looks good as well. And it's a cross, and very nearly. It needed the touch. They couldn't find it. Chance still alive. Renata Marnum places it in and headed away and out to safety, but Manchester United certainly feeling the pressure from this Arsenal attack.
Yeah, Volti does really well here. Lovely feet from her. Don't normally see her that high up the pitch. It's a great ball across as well. And actually, Galton does very, very well. Just leaning in there, just making sure there's no clean strike.
Well, it was Moritz who was coming in at the far post, just couldn't quite stretch enough to get on the end of it. They've got themselves a corner, Arsenal. Can they make the most of it? From Little. Then in for Catley. Little again. And the header of Russo! Well, it was spilled by Mary Earps, but luckily there was no one waiting to pounce. She was able to keep Arsenal at bay.
Well, that is her second touch in the box, and that might have been a very nice second touch. But a great ball in from Kim Little. You can see she takes a touch, looks up, knows exactly where she wants to put it, and it's a brilliant ball in.
Do you think it will still take a couple of games before Jonas Eidevall can find his best 11?
Well, it looks like it's going to be that. I think the next game is going to be key. Who he starts, that will be his strongest 11, because at the moment he hasn't played the same 11, which for me is a little bit worrying. For me, I mean, I am old school. I stick with the same 11. I stick with the same goalkeeper, so obviously very different to Eidevall, but you need consistency.
Well, here is Russo, who's breaking free. Russo across, stopped by Earps. And perhaps a life-saving stop as well from Mary Earps, the England goalkeeper.
And it's a great ball over the top. Just caught United very, very flat back there. Great touch from Russo, and she did everything right. Just have to credit Mary Earps there. It's a great save from her. You can see her looking back, trying to find her centre. It's a really good save by Mary Earps.
Leonardson Monum looking for forwards, trying to play her in, but it was the wrong side really of Letitia.
Yeah, wrong side, wrong decision. She could have drove in herself there. Be a little bit more selfish and start to open up. Actually, it was Russo's drive across, her run, that opened it up for Monum.
Catley. Well, Caitlin Ford does well to get away from a couple of those defenders, looking for the head of Alessia Russo. Chance for the life for Arsenal. Now JC for Manchester United can try and drive forward, but they've won it back again.
You need to keep it. You need to keep it. I know it's a big ask. You're playing up there on your own, JC, and she's getting on the ball, but nearly too ambitious. Sometimes you just have to stop the ball, check, keep the ball, pass it back. United are under a lot of pressure here.
They are under pressure, and they look like they're feeling it too. Mark Skinner getting ready to make a change. Rachel Williams is the player getting ready for Manchester United. She's a vital substitution for Manchester United. Nelson Monum with the delivery, headed away by Turner, only as far as McCabe. Iavelti. And to get away from Garcia. Now Ford. And therefore Little, and finds Catley again. Catley will try and take aim, but it was a brilliant block in the end by Jay-Z, who will try and use this as ammunition for Manchester United to drive forward. Ella Toon is making away. Jay-Z spotted the run too. Toon out to George.
Just see Arsenal here in the back five. No way through. Kim Little in there with her three in midfield, just guarding that back five. If United do want to break them down, they're going to have to start moving that ball a little bit quicker. Or perhaps they're just waiting for the subs to come on, waiting for that free kick or that set piece.
So the kick forward, but Manchester United still looking to put the pressure on. Russo can get hold of it, and it was a little push in the back there from Millie Turner, spotted by the referee. But here comes the change, though, for the home side. So Rachel Williams will be on to replace Jay-Z.
Yeah, I think Jay-Z did okay today. She was a handful running in behind. But what Rachel Williams will do when she comes on, she will hold that ball up. She will wait to bring her teammates in. Just give them that little bit of time and take that pressure off when the ball does get forward. And also talk about her threat in the air.
Here's Catley. By Letitia. In Arton Marnham. Well, Rachel Williams has had a habit of scoring goals from the bench. 4 last season as a substitute, 1 already this season. A crucial 1-2 in that victory against Aston Villa, a late winner. And he'll be hoping that she can spur on this Manchester United side against Arsenal.
Well, even just her on the pitch, her team knows that it's just 1 corner, 1 free kick is all they need. And if they can get it in the right place, she'll definitely win it in the air. It'll give them a little bit of confidence. But they are looking a little bit lethargic out there. They've worked extremely hard, United. I'd be surprised if there aren't a couple more subs made. Keita Paris might be really key here in this type of game. Bring a bit of energy in. Lucia Garcia has done well. Normally that change happens around this time.
Instead, well, certainly more of a threat Arsenal have been in this second half compared to Manchester United with the 4 shots, 2 of those on target, but it is Manchester United have been dominant in the possession. And as the clock starts to tick away, I'm sure both of these sides will be absolutely desperate to try and find that all-important winner. Russo.
Well, it is all about experience heads. Now, who can get hold of the game, who can control the game, and Arsenal certainly have plenty there to do that. I think it's going to be substitutes that are going to change the game, and you've got the likes of, well, on Arsenal's bench alone, Kira Cooney-Cross, you've got Lena Hurtig. Also on the pitch, you've got Jenny Beattie, Kim Little, really experienced players who know how to see out games, who know how to turn the screw.
There is Blundell, looking to find a space through the Arsenal defence. Manchester United currently on a run of 8 successive WSL wins, which is their best ever run in the Women's Super League. They lost some key players though. Of course, notably Alessia Russo. Ona Battier was one of the most key players that Manchester United lost, but they were able to do and find some reinforcements. One of those being Gabby George instead. And it is the final 15 minutes, usually of games where Manchester United have been the most successful. 17 goals scored, just 2 of those conceded in the final 15 minutes. And Mark Skinner making a couple of changes as well. And it will be Halatoon who makes way for Hinata Miyazawa. And the next change for Manchester United. We'll see Melvin Mallard to make her Manchester United and Women's Super League debut. She signed on a season loan from Lyon. And worrying signs really for the Arsenal goalkeeper, Sabrina D'Angelo, who's down and requiring some treatment.
I think there's some tactical information coming on. But I'm looking forward to seeing how Melvin Mallard plays. Really, really good prospect, very, very quick. Good at holding the ball up also. And I think her and Rachel Williams will play really well together. So looking forward to seeing how they combine.
Well, she scored 8 goals in her 26 appearances for Lyon last season. Melvin Mallard, she can certainly be a threat up front.
You know, it's who the national team also went to when Katoto got her injured. So she has experience.
Well, Manuela Zinsberger was warming up, but it seems like Sabrina D'Angelo will be okay to continue. And so the final instructions from the managers have been made to their players.
Well, just speaking of Ella Toone coming off there, I thought she had a decent game. I thought she was getting into really nice areas, as I said before, and picking up the areas in between the lines. Just United just couldn't get her the ball enough for me.
Moritz stopped by George. Ford moving forward, and now Leonardo Marlon could be through. Crosses it over to Russo. Here's Russo off the post. Leonardo Marlon keeps going as well. Well, Alessia Russo denied by the woodwork.
Oh, how did she miss that? Or how did that not go in? 2v1. She does really well, Russo, bringing the ball across. Really unlucky by Russo. I feel like the United fans were just willing that not to go in.
Well, what a chance for Arsenal, and perhaps warning signs for Manchester United. Arsenal knocking on the door, and it's against the former player, Alessia Russo, who's causing them the problems at the moment. And Jambiti's asking for it. Catley.
It's a great opportunity for Jenny Beattie. You can see United zonal marking in there. Beats will enjoy that. The run will be difficult to pick up.
Little. Out to Leonardo Marnham. And just loops it across. And out wide. Well, let's have a look at this chance from Alessia Russo again.
See Hannah Blundell, she did everything she could. Russo still managed to get her shot off. Really good effort from her.
Well, since the change that Jonas Eidevall had made and Alessia Russo playing more in her usual position, she's certainly had more opportunities on goal, most shots as well. Zelen.
Kim Little does really well in these positions, just using her experience, just making sure she's blocking that passing line into that number 10 position. Miyazawa actually drifted into.
Miyazawa looking to place in. Mallard, who's waiting to pass! She's got it too! Melvin Mallard on her Manchester United debut has Well, chances at both ends. And it's Manchester United who take it.
Well, you just cannot call it, can you? Again, that ball causing problems. It's Maritz that puts it back into the danger area. Simple header through, should have been dealt with by Hillestedt. She's expecting her keeper to come out, but you've got to clear your lines there as a defender. Simple header in by Miyazawa. Clear your lines, and Mallard was just more. She's hungry. She's getting a tone it, puts it past D'Angelo.
Well, what a way to make your mark, Melvin Mallard. What a welcome to the WSL too. Well, after that goal, Arsenal, Jonas Edeval has made a change, and it's Lotte Wubben-Moy who has come on to replace Jen Beattie. Just a second touch for Melvin Mallard, and she was able to find the back of the net.
Not a bad substitute, is it? We said it was the substitutes that were going to make the difference.
Another goal from the bench for Manchester United.
Oh, you'd nearly want to start on the bench at this stage. You're more likely to score.
George, well, they've started calling them game changers now, Emma, instead of substitutes.
Oh yeah, we've had that meeting, right? Influencers.
Yeah. Well, he's done it again. Manchester United have done it again, and it's Melvin Mallard who's done it for the first time for her new club. Arsenal looking for a response, and they need it really, because they're suffering from a bit of a dip in form, having gone out in the Champions League, having lost their opening game of the WSL season.
Well, you're still talking about chances missed for Arsenal. They have controlled this game a lot. They have to finish their chances. They're creating, that's not the problem. They are creating the chances. Not as many crosses today, actually. Last week was just an absolute wave of crosses. Today, gone a little bit more centrally.
Well, how a game can change. Alessia Russo, who hit the post 2 minutes, well, two and a half minutes after that, it was Manchester United who were able to score. And there's a little bit of frustration boiling over perhaps between a couple of the players, and the referee has just had to get involved there to calm things down. Well, through, this is Russo. And Turner clears the danger, out for a corner. Arsenal, who have certainly had their chances, they've looked threatening. Can they take advantage of this crucial moment? Frida Leonardson-Marnum will take the corner kick. All the way out to Little. By Moritz. By Williams, and instead looking to keep the chance alive for Arsenal.
Well, we talk about Rachel Williams coming on to score goals, but how good is she in defence as well? Just putting her head on everything back there, which is exactly what they need. Need to manage this game, they need to keep it out. Arsenal like the ball in the box as well, so to be able to bring Rachel Williams on to defend those balls is a great advantage.
Well, time for another change for Arsenal. And it will be Chloe Lacasse who comes on to replace Noelle Moritz. And she comes with a note. I wonder what that says on there.
Yeah, Lacasse did really well, I thought. Even though they lost last week, I thought she did really well in 1v1 situations. She's gone up there to play higher up to get in those situations against Gabby George, but can Arsenal get the ball to her?
Zella. McCabe had it covered. Is that where the frustration will lie for Arsenal, is that the performances are there, the chances are there, they're just not getting the result?
It's the same old story, isn't it? They do control games, they do dominate games. They're so nearly there. When it hits the woodwork or it's a big miss. You look at Stina Blackstenius, who I thought had a really good game, but she got a second. Can they be more prolific in the box? Can they be more aggressive?
Lots of opportunities, Arsenal, since the start of last season. Their shot conversion is exactly what you were saying, Emma, just not quite up there with those top teams.
No, and that's why they brought Alessia Russo into the squad.
Well, here comes Caitlin Ford, looking to play in. Lina Samano, but the flag is up, so it won't count. Arsenal thought they had the equaliser.
Well, Idavelle doesn't agree with that. It's great play from Ford. She is offside, very slightly. We need VAR there to make a wrong decision.
Well, it certainly will be moments of pressure, moments of frustration that he'll be feeling, Jonas Idavelle, to try and lift his side. Well, Blundell has won the ball for Manchester United. Has options to aim for as well. Mallard very nearly got another touch to it, but it rolled into the hands of D'Angelo.
First time we've seen Hannah Blundell get high up the pitch, which is probably her greatest strength, to be quite honest. You just allow her to do that because Ford just drops off.
Still pushing. Russo still showing the threats. Does she compose?
They will get another chance, Arsenal. There's been some extra time added on, give them a little bit of a boost.
What will this be like for Alessia Russo coming up against her former team, a club where she became a real fan favourite?
I mean, I think it would have been quite a difficult thing right from the start, seeing that fixture list, knowing that you have to come up here in the second game, still not settled in really, but of course she's going to want to score. She's competitive.
Well, here is Ford. Well blocked by Blundell. Mallard finds Miyazawa. To George. Well, we are into 6 minutes of added time, which will be good news for the Arsenal fans waiting on. It will feel like a long 6 minutes though for Manchester United and their fans inside the stadium. It's Arsenal though who are pushing and pushing desperately to try and find an equaliser, to try and pick up their first points of the season. Nelson Mano out to from Little. McCabe will aim from distance, and yes, he was ambitious, but he had to try it.
Absolutely. Seen her score from there. She scored from there with Ireland a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't too far off. United's midfield look tired. They've worked really, really hard tonight.
Well, Manchester United begin their Champions League campaign in their next game. Only got a couple of days to prepare for it. October the 10th, they take on PSG. Leicester after that, and then we've got PSG again. So focus begins on Europe.
Well, that will be a completely different test for them. Champions League is a different beast altogether.
Nelson Mana. Here is Kim Little. McCabe. Looking for the options, and Bolton wins it back for Manchester United. They're looking to send forward Rachel Williams, who will do her best to chase it down.
I understand that ball, but you've got to keep possession, you've got to manage the game. Leah Galton, if she has to drive with the ball, that's what she has to do, but just giving the ball back.
Here is Ruben Morley. Who's coming through. Oh! What a finish! Absolutely outstanding finish. There was no way Mary Earps was saving that. On as a substitute and made the difference. Chloe Lacasse. Incredible goal to equalise.
Well, another sub coming on and impacting the game. Does really well. Lovely turn from her. What a strike from Chloe Lacasse. Pick that one out. Absolutely nothing Mary Earps can do about that. Lovely, lovely goal.
Well, Chloe Lacasse with her first goal for Arsenal, and what a way to do it. What a time to do it as well. In injury time, Chloe Lacasse finds the equaliser in stunning fashion. Here's Mala. There's a chance for Miyazawa, who took aim from distance. Well, they were pushing till the very end, Emma, and Chloe Lacasse just showing exactly why Arsenal bought her.
Yeah, I thought she had a good game against Liverpool.
Here's Russo, it's not over yet. Lacasse again looking to fire it wide. Here's a chance for Ford.
I actually thought the referee was pointing to the penalty spot there. Ford was so adamant that it was. It looked a little bit awkward. Wouldn't surprise me. These games, the United Arsenal games, Arsenal United games, you just have to stay in your seat and stay till the very end.
Well, there are so many twists to this tale in the Women's Super League, and we can't wait for it all to unfold. What a game we've been treated to as well at Leeds Sports Village. Well, both sides with chances. It really was a game that you couldn't call. Will they be happy with a draw?
I think United would be a little bit disappointed because they were 2-1 up. They just had to manage the game. We spoke about Leah Galton keeping the ball. If she keeps the ball there, does that happen? Does Lacasse get on the ball?
Here is Mala. Well, the time is almost up. Letitia looking to find Williams. Turner. Forward. Manchester United win the ball back and come forward. Well, Arsenal needed to find a reaction after their opening day defeat, and 2 stunning goals just proving what Arsenal are made of.
I mean, they are a bit of class, aren't they? They have the players. It's going to take them a little bit longer to gel, obviously, but I mean, they just play some beautiful football. And
well, a point each is what they will have to settle for. But what a game we've been treated to here at Leigh Sports Village. 2 of the very best in the Women's Super League, but it was Chloe Lacasse who was able to salvage a point for Arsenal right at the end in stunning style. It was a brilliant strike. Melvie Mallard on her Manchester United debut thought she had got the winner for her new team. There were goals, though, in the first half from Stina Blackstenius, who broke the deadlock, but Leah Galton, who was able to take advantage after a mistake from Sabrina D'Angelo, gifted Manchester United the equaliser. Well, plenty to look back at into this game. There were so many talking points, so many different styles that were going on, and it was Jonas Edevold's Arsenal who were able to get their first point of the Women's Super League season. A homecoming as well for Alessia Russo against her former club. But both sides will have to settle for a point. And the full-time score, Manchester United 2, Arsenal 2.
Peen, Emma, thank you. Carla, Rachel, Izzy. I mean, someone said it'd be 2-2 before this. Rachel, that's what Arsenal deserved, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think they were the better team, to be honest. I thought, you know, when Manchester United scored that one and they're 2-1 up, and you're thinking, wow, you need a reaction from Arsenal because they played so well. And to get it back to 2-2, I think, you know, it's more than what they deserve.
A rocket, Carla, to draw them level.
Hey, listen, we spoke about the changes, didn't we, just then and before, and obviously Chloe Lacasse has come on, and it's a great finish. And do you know what? It's nothing short of what Arsenal deserved. I thought in the course of 90 minutes, I think 2-2 is a fair result.
Izzy, we talked about those changes from Jonas earlier. It's the changes in game as well that were effective.
Yeah, absolutely. He made the triple change on around the 6-minute mark, and then he's brought Chloe Lacasse on. And Chloe Lacasse, she looked a little bit frustrated when she came on. She was really hungry to get on the ball. She wanted the ball wide. She wasn't really getting it. In that moment, she just took it by the scruff of the neck. And that little turn on Gabby George and the left foot finish into the top corner. And I agree with the ladies. It's nothing short of what Arsenal deserve to point out of that.
For Manchester United, what shifted in that second half? We will talk more about this, of course.
To be honest, I think Manchester United, the whole game, I just felt like they didn't. It wasn't the same Manchester United with the mentality. They looked, I don't know, maybe coming out here, the expectation that they needed to win, the talk about Arsenal and their 6 changes. They just didn't mentally look like the same Manchester United we saw from last week, where they were really connecting. They looked dynamic. Today they just looked off it a bit, and sometimes you have those days.
Carla, for Arsenal, when we spoke about potentially the pressure on Jonas, but the pressure on Alessia Russo, she seemed to ride that.
Yeah, listen, I thought she was top draw tonight. I really do. The way she led the line, the way she looked to try and get in beyond, and she linked the play. And I actually said to Izzy before, I think that's probably one of her strongest performances we've seen. And, you know, she's turned up tonight.
I absolutely agree. I think that there's been a lot of pressure on her shoulders. I think, you know, we've got to remember she's still quite young. She's got top qualities as a footballer, but she's probably had a little bit of an emotional roller coaster over the past 6 weeks. Obviously at the World Cup and then moving to a new club, all of that, people don't understand. The change is sometimes very difficult, but what she's done tonight is she's produced a performance of maturity. strength, power, pace, and she played the full 90, which I believe is the first 90 in quite a long time.
Do you not think, though, that she grew in confidence as the crowd started to boo her?
Yeah, 100%. I think Izzy just nailed it then. It was a very, very mature performance. You know, she didn't let all the hype around it coming into it affect her. She's gone out there and she's put on a performance at the top level. I would call that a world-class performance from Alessia Russo.
She was inches away from putting her side in the lead, and what a goal that would have been. I think she deserved that, and I think overall you can see the Arsenal players there applauding their fans. We were sat above them for the whole night, and they were absolutely outstanding from start to finish. And the love that they gave that girl there, Alessia Russo, all evening, she'll feel right at home after tonight.
Was nearly as loud as the love they gave Rachel Yankee throughout that one too. Right, we'll talk more about this result. 2-2 then it finishes here in Manchester. A point apiece to start off our WSL weekend. It's a WSL weekend that has Brighton taking on West Ham, and what a tussle at lunchtime on Sunday. Manchester City, Chelsea, Spurs, Bristol City, both pointless at the moment. They go head-to-head to Leicester, Everton before. We'll bring you Carla Ward's Aston Villa TM. They're at Liverpool 6:45. I mean, it's only the second weekend, but who doesn't love looking at a table? The WSL table then heading into this next couple of days looks a little something like this. Manchester United, as they were for much of last season, top of the table, but that first point for Arsenal has got them up and motoring. So we'll bring you that Liverpool-Villa match on Sunday night, but here's your Premier League weekend across Sky. Palace, Forest, Brighton, Liverpool and Arsenal against Manchester City, 4 o'clock on Sunday. Sometimes we can talk about a draw being boring. Not tonight. This was too entertaining. Arsenal head back down south, making a point against Manchester United in the second half. Looked like potentially United had won it. Mallard taking to the WSL like a duck to water. And then how's about this from Lacasse to make it 2-2 on the night? Nothing Mary Earps could do about that. Much improved performance then from Arsenal, particularly in that second half. 2-2 it may have been, but look at the double the shots from Arsenal to Manchester United. The expected goals as well, much improved, although Manchester United shading that possession. Instrumental in this result for Arsenal, agreed by all the panel. Kim Little joins us now. Kim, you are our player of the match. We'll get to that in a minute, but just how big is that point tonight?
Yeah, I think it was so important for us, especially off the back of our first league performance last weekend. And I think we showed a lot of character today. And I think Chloe's goal to round it off was an unbelievable finish. So we're so happy for her. But yeah, it's always tough coming away to United. I think in the past we've really struggled to pick up points. So I think it's a really positive point for us.
Take us into that dressing room after last week. What was the feeling amongst the team about putting it right?
Yeah, I think disappointment. We were disappointed in our performance as a team and individuals, and we knew we need to turn it around. We're a club and we expect that of each other, and I think we did that all week in training, and then I think we did that and showed that today.
I mean, feel free to embarrass her, but you were always saying, even at 2-1, that you thought the performance from Kim Little had shifted this Arsenal side.
Yeah, so, I mean, I watched you very closely today, Kim. You started on the left of the front three or front two, however it was in your locker room. But you started wide early on and you started to drift in field. It was almost like you took Hannah Blundell for a little bit of a walk into centre midfield. Was that part of the tactical plan, or did you figure that out in game?
Yeah, I think our plan is to obviously stretch them, to start on the back shoulder as the 2-10s, like me and Les did. And then as the game kind of develops and the pockets open, obviously my natural tendency is to want to come to the ball, and Les's. So it was to try and find those pockets, and I think I did it the best maybe towards the end of the first half, and we got in some good positions, and then obviously go back to my normal sixth position in the second half.
Is that something you're quite used to? Like, there's a lot of change within games now of formation under Jonas.
Yeah, there has been. I think there are difficulties to that, but I think it also means you have to adapt and work really quickly. So we've changed formation in our Champions League games and into these first league games and with personnel. But because of the depth and quality in our squad now, we can do that. But I think one thing we need to get better at is it just being more cleaner and making sure we're then connected when the personnel does change. I think that's going to be really important for us.
We talked about those changes beforehand. It can go one of two ways, right? It can either fire up those that are about to come on. As a team, how had you talked about the fact that, you know, so many made ahead of this one?
Yeah, I think we all have so much belief in every single player in the team, and I think you can see with all the players that came on today, they changed the game as well. The energy, getting into different spaces, because that's what happens when personnel changes. And I think, every single player today, showed up in the way that we needed, and I think that was a positive for us.
The impact of Chloe Lacasse, she when she came on, it looked like she really wanted the ball, obviously as a substitute when he come on the pitch. And she looked a little bit frustrated. You could see her hands flinging up. She wanted the ball out wide, and then she started to drift a little bit more centrally, and that's where her goal came from. Has she kind of shown moments of quality in training since she arrived with you?
Yeah, Chloe's just a ball of energy. She's all over the place and works incredibly hard, which gets her into such great positions like she did tonight. And then obviously tonight she had the finishing product, which was such a great finish.
You're going to be a lot closer next week, you two.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about standing on her feet.
No. And don't drop this on your foot either. Congratulations, you are our player of the match. I'll take that. You take that. You go warm down. Kim, thank you for joining us.
Congrats, Kim.
Kim Little, our player of the match. And of course, Arsenal, Aston Villa next week. Maybe we'll talk about that in just a bit. Although she is one of those fine wine players, isn't she, that you just know can dictate play?
Yeah, experience shone through from start to finish. We spoke about it a lot at half-time around the ways that she sort of she drifts in and out the pitch, but she opens up pockets for obviously the likes of Steph Catley, and then in the second half, obviously, Chloe Lacasse. But she's a wonderful player. You can't take that away from her. She's been in this division for a long, long time, and that showed tonight.
What did you have on your notepad upstairs while you're watching about how you're going to stop her next
week? How many pages have I written? I've just put it away. I think Emma Byrne was laughing at me. I've got plenty for the analysis in the morning.
Let's have a little look at the goals then. If we wind all the way back to 1-0, and Stina Blackstenius was one of the changes, Rachel, going into this one.
Yeah, and she really made an impact. I think, when you've got the position up there, I think Russo here does fantastically well to hold it up, but what Blackstenius is really good at is running off the back shoulder and getting in these space. I'm shouting from the top, get across her, and she made it look easy in the end. I think that was a fantastic finish.
Great balance from her, and you were enjoying the way that she was working with Russo.
Yeah, and I think she's done tremendously well tonight, and I think Russo will probably get the headlines, as will Lacasse, but I thought the way that Stina led the line was excellent, and I think we alluded to at half-time, that little shift there to just bring Blundell into the picture. She's got a decision to make, and if she goes for it, then she probably gives a penalty away and gets sent off. So, yeah, it's really clever from Stina.
Talking of decisions, one of the other changes Jonas made was changing the goalkeeper. D'Angelo won't want us to play this one back.
No. Look, it's, firstly, I look at the detail on this pass from Gabby George. And first, the weight of the pass, it's gone over the top of the defence. It's actually made D'Angelo make a decision, because she's had to come out, and I was actually watching her live, and she was hesitant. If she'd just gone with her initial decision to go, she would have had a split second more on her side, and she would have got to the ball quicker. But I think Leah Galton's pressure just puts her off. It's a howler. She will not want to see that back.
I think when Jonas has a look at that, I think he's going to be disappointed, because the back three aren't connected. I think the distance between Jen and Amanda is massive, so I think that's something that they won't be pleased with seeing that back.
But you have to credit her there, that you've made a mistake like that and she's kept her head. You saw her afterwards, she's breathing, deep breathing, slowing herself down, and I thought for the rest of the game she's done well.
Yeah, she controlled it from the back very well, and I think we alluded to it at half-time. The second half she was solid, she led and she stood up, shoulders back, and off she went, and I thought that she was excellent second half.
Mallard comes on. You know her well. Her second touch of the game is this.
Well, she's a top player. She's a Champions League winner with Lyon. She's got real quality, and that's a sign of what United have added to their team this season. And she's just opportunistic. I have question marks over Ilestedt and the defending in this situation. This clearance from Moritz is pretty poor. The second ball, the header into the path is nicely weighted. But Ilestedt, I think she's trying to shepherd the ball back to her goalkeeper in this situation. I don't think she knows exactly where Mallard is, and Mallard's just been opportunistic, and she's got there, nicked it over D'Angelo, and that's exactly what Mallard will bring to this United team, is that kind of predator. Like, she's hungry and she wants to win, she wants to score goals, and she'll be a handful of defences this season.
And it kind of felt at that stage, oh, it's going to type. We know Manchester United score late goals, late winners, and then this from Arsenal. What a response.
Yeah, I think you, Rach, said a couple of minutes before, didn't you? I think Arsenal were knocking on the door and then Man United got up that end. But I think the way that Arsenal played tonight, you just thought there was going to be another chance. And like I said, the way that Stina and Russo played, and then obviously Chloe Cass's come on and rifled that straight in the top corner. So, yeah, look, it was fully deserved for me, it really was.
What was the noise you made?
No, I'm not doing that again. Ultimate self-confidence like that. I mean, the little trick. She's going there, she's got one thing on her mind. I mean, you know, when you brought her in, she can score goals, and that is an absolutely fantastic goal. Mary Earp's just nowhere near it.
An attitude that shaped Manchester United last season. We said whether you need it to crack that top 4 or top 3. Is that what Arsenal showed tonight?
Yeah, I think they both did. Look, they've made changes, and not just any old changes, they've made world-class changes. You've seen that come on the pitch tonight, and I think that's the difference between the top 4 and the rest in the league, and that's the reality. I think, you know, you look at both their squads, they've got strength and depth, they've got players that can come on and turn the game on its head.
If you're a Manchester United fan sat at home at the moment, you're going, what about Manchester United? Yes, it was 2-2. We will hear from both managers next, and we will talk and give a bit of love to Manchester United. After defeat in the opening weekend, is it a point proved for Jonas Eidevall's Arsenal? He goes back down to London with a 2-2 draw. Let's hear from him with Pat.
Well, Jonas, I know we're only 2 games in, but when you get your point in such dramatic fashion with such an incredible goal, does it just feel like it could be a big moment in your season?
Yeah, I think the performance was big from us today. I think there's not many teams coming here to Leeds Sports Village, and it's the better team than Man United are, especially when you see the number of goal-scoring opportunities. But then, of course, sometimes you need to match that performance and that process with a result as well. So I'm extremely pleased we got that out of it. But I think when we look back at it in total, I think we should be a little bit disappointed that we don't win the game, because we have more clear chances than they do.
Yeah, so I mean, I was going to say, it took a late wonder goal to get your point, but was it the least you deserved?
I think so, but then of course maybe you're too greedy when your goal comes in the dying minutes of the game. So I think, of course, with that situation, we're more happy than with 1 point. But when we look at the game as a whole, I think we should have deserved to win the game.
So if you're critical of your team, is it both boxes?
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's a major difference towards the Liverpool game, because today we created clear chances. We were much more energy. I thought we were more creative, we were more fluid in our attack, and that was nice to see, and I think that was nice for our travelling fans to see as well.
So, I mean, what do you say to your goalkeeper, particularly after the first goal? You showed a lot of faith, a lot of trust to put her in at the start. Is now a time for more faith, more trust?
Yeah, because you know what defines you is always how you react to situations. And for us, we always have to think next action. Football is fast, and you have to look forward, and you have to learn something from it, and from there on you need to go and you need to believe the next time as well. I believe in all my players, and I believe in her as well.
What do you think with the 6 changes you made? What did you give the team?
I think it's really important to talk about 2 things in it. One is to say you start with 1-11, but you also finish with another 11. I think that is one of the things that I'm most pleased with today, is how we managed to finish the game. I think we managed to finish the game much stronger than Man United do. A lot of times you only think about how you want to start a football match. It's equally important how you finish a football match, and I think we managed that part well.
So almost you're saying evolve your thinking. Don't think I've been dropped. Think of it as the 90-minute game it is, and coming on and making an impact.
I think so. One change we have done this year is, instead of presenting the starting 11 first, we always present the bench first, because they are so important. That's not something that we have as a side note. That's something for us, to all of us, look at this. This is the tools we have to change things during the game, and you guys are going to be really important for it. And I think all players coming on today really showed that, and that was very pleasing.
Alessia Russo tonight, tactically, starting off the right, what was the thinking? But also emotionally, coming back here, booed every time she touched the ball. Dealing with that, how good was she?
Very good. I mean, her working rate, the only thing she misses today is a goal. Apart from that, it's a superb performance. Now, the thinking about that was to see, could we hit them a little bit on the transition? We know Stina is very fast. We know that their central defenders struggle a little bit with that. And we get a goal out of that as well for it. So that was the thinking about it. But can we still use Alessia in a role for it? But then I think when we open up and we could see we could play more in between the lines when the game stretched, then we could use her as a 9, as more target player.
And last question, I mean, we touched on it a few times already. Some goal, wasn't it? To get the point.
Some goal. But in all fairness, I think as an external viewer, I think it's a great football match. I think it's entertaining. I think it's two teams that really plays a great game of football, and I think it's great entertainment for the league.
Well done.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was great entertainment. A sigh of relief he got the point, I guess, after what happened last weekend. Is that the difference with Arsenal, Izzy, this season? He can play 11, he can change, he can make things happen.
Very interesting what you said there about presenting the bench first in a meeting.
Instead of trying that.
But in a way, I mean, he's got a point, hasn't he, in terms of it is about the squad, and in order to compete in every competition at the highest level, you need, me and Carla were talking earlier, you need almost 2 players who can start in every position. That creates the training environment, and then it also creates the performance and competition on the pitch. And the players that they had on the bench tonight, Katie McCabe, who's one of the best players in the world at the moment, you know, bringing her on, you think there's going to be a massive impact, and the impact's come from Chloe Lacasse, a new signing, and little moments like that can define a team, and I think that Arsenal will continue to move forward from this. It's a point on the board, but I'm sure deep down they would have rather going back down south for free.
How does it change things up? I mean, you've got them next, but in your mind, are you now looking at that going, well, might go one way, might go the other?
Yeah, I felt like they were knocking on the door. I think United's goal came against a runner player because I think it was all Arsenal at that point. But when that goal went in, I think we said that there was still another moment in the game. But look, credit Man United, they find a way, they really do. And, you know, they weren't at their best tonight. I think Mark will admit that. But do you know what? Sometimes top sides like Manchester United, they find a way to get a point from it.
All right, well, let's hear from Manchester United and Mark Skinner with Pat.
Well, Mark, it's a point against the top side, but when the equaliser comes like it did, as late as it did, does it feel like a bit of a kick in the teeth?
I mean, yeah, I suppose it does, because of you've got the 3 points and it becomes 1, but I can't be prouder of the players. Like, they've only had 8 training sessions together as a collective, and even Mal, when she comes on, doesn't yet really know how we move. Hinnie's come on and been fantastic. I thought the players gave everything, so when the players give you everything, I think it shows good. Look, you're not always going to win them. You know, they've scored late today, we scored late in the last game, and credit to them, but what I felt was it was a top-level game. It was a top-level game, something that fans want to keep watching. You know, we want to win it, we always want to win it, but I'm proud of what the players are given in such a short time space.
When it was level at 1-1 going into the last part of the match, because you're so relentless, did you really fancy yourselves?
Yeah, we did, and that's why we made the changes in the attacking format. So we brought Hinnie in because Fortuny was fantastic, but we weren't quite finding the spaces for her at that moment. So I wanted to just freshen that up. And Mal is just, you never know what she's going to do. So she can take you on, but that arrival in the box to finish the pass, it's a quality, and they've only had a few training sessions together. So it's going to show a lot for what we're going to build going forward.
What problems did they give you in that early part of the match? You seemed to get in a few times down that side, and obviously they did for the opening goal.
Yeah, well, it's cat and mouse. I think when they play a 5, if they commit those numbers, you don't